Students, on the Module 8 creative assignment, you're going to restore an old damaged image. And we're going to use the Pixlr X online software to restore this image. So on the instructions, I have a link to the software, to the web page for the Pixlr X, and I also have the old frame image that you're going to restore. So I'm going to start out by downloading this image on my Chromebook. And this image is an old black and white image that's been damaged over time, and it has an old frame around it. So what we're going to focus on this lesson is actually just restoring the image. We're not going to restore the frame because the person that wants this image restored just wants the image. They don't want the frame restored. So we're just going to focus on restoring the image. So you can see that it has a paper frame around the outside like they used to use on pictures. And so whenever we restore the image, we're just going to focus on the image inside this frame. So on my Chromebook, I'm just going to right click and I'm going to select save image as. So you'll just right click on this image, select save image as, and then it's going to put it in your downloads folder on your Chromebook. And I'm going to hit save. Okay, so now my download's completed. As I said, I have a link to the Pixlr X that'll take you right to that web page. So I have that open. So on the Pixlr X, the last time we used the Pixlr E, this time we're going to use the Pixlr X. So I'm going to click Open Image, and then I'm going to browse to my download files. And here's the image that I just downloaded that we're going to restore. I'm going to select Open. And then leave it on the full HD and select Apply. And when it opens up, you're going to have your layers on the right like you do with Photoshop, and your tools are going to be on the left. Now the tools are a little bit different in the Pixlr X than they were on the Pixlr E. The first thing I'm going to show you is over here at the top is your navigation window. So right now, when it's set at 30%, I can see the entire image. So I'm going to leave that on 30% right now. And then the first thing we're going to do is we're going to crop this frame off of this image. So I'm going to select the crop tool, and then once I select it, it'll automatically open. And then I'm going to slide my crop tool into the location that I want my image to be cropped at. So basically I'm removing that outside frame. Now there's a little tear over here on the upper left hand corner, so make sure that you slide past that tear so that way you can remove that. And then once you've got it in the location, just go ahead and select Apply, and then it'll crop it. If you happen to see that you didn't get all the frame, just go back over and select the crop tool again and remove any of the outside frame. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust this image to improve the quality. So I'm going to go over here and select my adjustment tool. It's right below the cutout or the scissors. When this opens up, there's a slider on the right hand side. So if you can't see what I'm working with, slide all the way up. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set this to a black and white adjustment. So I'm going to click that. And once you just click on what it says black and white, then it'll apply it to the image. And then the next thing we're going to do is, once again, there's a slider on the right hand side. I'm going to slide this down, and then I'm going to go use the brightness, and I'm going to decrease it because I want to bring out the details. And then I'm also going to increase the contrast. Okay, so for my brightness, I just took it down to about 18. My contrast, I have it on about 20. And you can adjust that accordingly. And then I'm also going to increase my black to help with the details. And I'm just going to increase it to about 15. I guess I'll leave it on 16. Okay, and then once I've done that, I'm going to select apply. So now we've already, to me, greatly improved this image. So if I click undo, we can see what it looked like before, and now I'm going to click redo and bring back those adjustments. So just those few changes really bring out the details of in the picture, and especially kind of in the background of this picture. All right, so now you're going to notice that we've got all of these places that over time have been damaged on this picture. So I'm going to go over here to my navigation, and I'm going to zoom into this so I can see it. And then notice that there's a red box around the top of it. So I'm going to slide this up so I can focus on the top part, and then I'll move it down to focus on the bottom. And then the tool we're going to use for this, to me, kind of looks like a flashlight. So click on the retouch. When this opens up, you're going to see that you have a heal, you have a stamp, you have a sharpen, and you have a dodge. So these are similar to the ones that we had in Photoshop. So we're going to select heal, keep it set on patch. Now on the brush, you may want to adjust the brush as you go, but right now I'm just going to leave mine set on 30. So then I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to start to click on basically the white spots that have been damaged. And then this is basically finds the similar pixels and replaces the pixels in the area of our healing. And this is just kind of a tedious process. And then I'm going to make my brush smaller because I don't want to lose some detail. So down here on kind of where his vest is, I'm going to make my brush smaller. And then there's a spot right below his hand that I just want to get the tiny spot so that way I don't apply it on his hand. That way it's just on his pants. Okay, so then I'm going to go over here to my navigation, and I'm going to pull it down so I can see. Now, there's a lot of damage on her dress, some more spots, so I'm just going to keep working here. And at any point, you can always do the undo if you have something that you want to remove. I'm going to make the brush a little bit bigger to do this dress, because it's kind of a similar colors. And there's a big spot down here. And on this part, you kind of just have to take time and you may need to zoom in more if you haven't zoomed in enough to see the spots. Just so I don't make this video super long, I'm kind of going to stop right here because I've got most of it. There's a scratch that I can spend some time with right here too. Okay. And then, now that I've done that, I'm going to select, I'm going to close that window. And then as I do this, it saves each one of my steps. But now I'm going to get ready, and I'm actually just going to save the image. And I could, if I wasn't worried about the length of this video, I could go ahead and work some more on this dress right here. It looks like it needs to be touched up because there's a spot there. But I'm just going to go ahead and save it so I can show you how this works. So I'm going to select save. Then when this comes up, go ahead and leave it on JPEG and high quality, but on the image width, just go ahead and decrease that to 600 to make that a little bit smaller, and then it'll keep the height in proportion, and then select download. And then I can actually click on Show in Folder. And then this will open up. And so it's downloaded it into my downloads folder. So here's my original one. This one has a 1 behind it because it's the copy that I just did. And so you'll notice that this was a 9.7 meg and this is decreased the size to 135 kilobytes. So this will make it a lot easier to upload to Blackboard, or if you're going to upload it to a website to get a print made in the future, this would be a smaller size for you to upload to a website to get a print made. So then you'll just go back over to the module 8, open up the Chromebook user instructions, module 8 assignment. Just like you've done before, you're just going to go to browse to your computer. This is the one that I just adjusted. And once again, you can see from the timestamp too that this is the copy that I just made. You'll select that, hit open, and then you can hit your submit, and then that'll upload the edited picture. So as I said, take your time with this. You might need to adjust the size of the brush as you go through to edit the image to remove the imperfections. And so just to look at this, go back here so we can just see the difference real quick. So here's my original. And then here's my edited picture. So you can just see in that short length of time what an improvement it made and the details that you can now see on that image. So I hope you have fun with this. I will say that if you do have an old image that you'd like to restore instead of this one, and you can scan it and upload it, you're feel free to restore an old black and white image that you may have that's a family picture that someone's given you. But if you don't have one, obviously that's the reason I'm supplying this picture. So I hope you have fun with this assignment.